Wake up in the grind, clock ticking, 20 minutes flat, freedom main-handed, knives built with.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the 20-Minute Freedom Project. This show is for those who want ownership, discipline, freedom, and to build a life they've always wanted, one that is earned and not handed to them. I'm Josh Lopez, and today we're talking about what you think about, you become. Now, before you roll your eyes and think, oh, great, another positive thinking episode, I need you to hear me out. This is not some surface level, good vibes only BS. This is about ownership. This is about the uncomfortable truth that your life right now, the good, the bad, the frustrating, all of it, are all a direct result of the thoughts you've been feeding yourself. I've been sitting with this concept for about a week now. Once you really understand what I'm about to share with you, you lose ability to blame your circumstances. You lose the comfort of excuses. And for many people, that is terrifying. Picture this. You're sitting in your car. Maybe you're in a parking lot. Maybe it's outside the gym, outside your office. Could even be in your own driveway. And you're having that conversation with yourself. You know the one, I should go in. I need to do this. Maybe you start having the thoughts of maybe tomorrow I'll start. That voice in your head, that constant stream of thoughts, that's the one that's not just noise. That's the blueprint for your entire life. Every single thought you entertain, every mental pattern you allow to run wild, every worry you rehearse over and over, those are the seeds that are growing into the reality you're living right now. Most of us are planting weeds and wonder why we don't get flowers. I was reading this book recently, which I've read multiple times, and it's As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. It was written back in 1903, and it's probably 25 pages. You could easily read it in an hour, but it contains a truth so fundamental, so powerful, that once you understand it, you look at everything differently. In the very beginning of the book, there's a quote, and it says, "As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." Not as he hopes to be, not as he wishes he were, as he thinks, so he is. Your mind is the master power. It molds and makes every aspect of your life. Allen uses a metaphor, which really works for me. He says your mind is like a garden. Now think about what happens to a garden. If you want a beautiful garden, you have to do the work. You have to fertilize it. You have to weed. You have to cultivate. And you have to water. If you commit to those things, you can have something beautiful, something that produces. If you choose to shirk those duties, if you just let it go, it will run wild. It will be overrun with weeds. Some plants will die. Inevitably, the whole thing will look like an absolute disaster and nothing like you wanted it to. Your mind works the exact same way. As a gardener tends their garden, you must tend the garden of your mind. Otherwise, when it's left to its old devices, it will overgrow with things you would rather not have in your garden. Thoughts of fear, thoughts of doubt, thoughts of resentment, thoughts that say, I can't, I'm not enough, or what's the point? Here's the thing most people don't fully understand. The garden is going to produce something either way, whether you tend to it or not. It will bring forth good or bad. It'll be beautiful or it'll be ugly. The only question is what? If you put no useful seeds into your mind, then the abundance of useless weed seeds will eventually take root and produce their kind. Every thought seed you allow to take root produces its own harvest. Good thoughts bear good. Bad thoughts bear bad. And before you think you can hide your thoughts, let me be clear. You cannot keep your thoughts secret. They quickly become habits, and those habits produce your circumstances. Your circumstances become your way of life. The outer world is always a reflection of the inner world, no matter what. Your environment is the looking glass through which we see your thoughts. And yes, I said we, because other people can see it too. Even if you think you're hiding it, where you are in your life at this point is a collection of the result of the thoughts that you have had up to this point. Not your intentions, not your hopes, but your actual thoughts. The ones you've rehearsed, the ones you've fed, the ones you allow to run on repeat. Now, I know some of you were probably thinking, Josh, bad things have happened to me, circumstances outside my control. I didn't choose this. And you're right. You don't always choose your circumstances, but you do choose your thoughts. And you indirectly, yet surely, shape your circumstances through those thoughts. Ellen puts it this way. Circumstances does not make the man. It reveals him to himself. Your conditions do not make you. They only reveal your thoughts to yourself. Let me say that again because it matters. Your conditions do not create you. They expose what's already been growing in the garden of your mind. You attract what you love and what you fear. If you keep seeing things in your life that you don't want, there's something in your thoughts and desires that keep attracting those things. If you think someone is out to get you, that's what you will continually see in your life. If you believe everyone is there to assist you in some way, maybe for learning, for growing, different opportunities, for reaching a new level, that's what you will see. It's not by magic. It's by attention. You do not attract what you want. You attract what you are. You do not get what you hope for or you pray for. You get what you earn. You will achieve what you want when your thoughts and your actions align with your desires. When you become the kind of person that has that thing, you'll achieve it. Many people are walking around with a mental image of who they want to be while they're thinking of the thoughts that create who they currently are. And they wonder why nothing is changing. Let me frame this through something I talk about a lot on this show. The drifter versus the operator. The drifter's mind is an untended garden. It's often overgrown with worry, fear, self-pity, and doubt. He has no central purpose in his life. So he falls easily prey to whatever thought pattern feels comfortable in the moment. His thoughts drift. His life drifts. And he wonders why he always ends up in places he never intended to go. The operator, on the other hand, he's a master gardener of his mind. He understands that every thought is a seed. Every mental pattern is a habit. Every habit produces a harvest. So he tends his mind the way a serious person tends anything they want to produce that is of value. He weeds out thoughts of doubt and fear because he knows that they always lead to failure. He cultivates thoughts linked to purposes. He plants seeds of discipline, of standards, of ownership. Until thought is linked with purpose, there is no intelligent accomplishment. Those who are without a central purpose easily fall prey to worry, fear, and self-pity. The operator knows this, so he has a legitimate purpose in his life, and he sets out to accomplish it by putting all of his thoughts into that purpose and the ways that he might achieve that purpose. There is something that Alan says that I completely agree with. Just as you go to the gym to get stronger, you can also train your mind and strive to control your thoughts. Think about that. If you know that you need to train your body, and you completely understand that if you want to get stronger, you have to go to the gym. If you want to be fast, you have to go for a run. If you want endurance, you have to build it. Why would we treat our mind any differently? The thoughts you allow to run wild in your mind are no different than junk food you shove in your body. If you wouldn't feed your body garbage every day and expect health, why would you feed your mind garbage every day and expect clarity, peace, or purpose? You are the master of your thoughts. You are the molder of your character. You are the creator of the environment and your destiny. No matter what you have been through, no matter how weak you feel, you alone hold the keys to your freedom or to your prison. That is the most liberating and at the same time most terrifying truth you'll probably hear today. Now let me connect this to something deeper. If you listen to this show for any amount of time, you know I approach life through the lens of stewardship. This isn't just self-help talk. This is about the responsibility we have for the life we have been given. Your mind is a gift. Your ability to think, to choose, to direct your thoughts towards something higher that's not random. And that's not by accident. And through that, the question then becomes, what are we doing with those things? Are you stewarding your mind well? Are you cultivating the thoughts that build? Or are you allowing your mind to become a wasteland of worry, comparison, and resentment? God gave you agency. He gave you the power to choose. He gave you a mind that can create or destroy. And how you use that matters. Scripture says that as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And if you want to go look that up for yourself, that's Proverbs 23:7. This isn't New Age philosophy. This is ancient wisdom. This is a principle that has been true for thousands of years. Your thoughts matter to God because your thoughts shape who you become. And who you become determines what you do with the calling that He has placed on your life. How would this be any different than if you were a parent? You look at your kids and you want them to do the best possible. You want them to make good decisions, do the best of things they can. You want them to achieve the most that they are capable of, to reach their true potential, to become better than you were. How is that any different? So let me bring this back. Every single day, you are making a choice. You can either create things that destroy yourself, or you can create tools to build an amazing life. By your thoughts, you can build mansions or descend into places that you never wanted to go. And the uncomfortable part is that you are the only one that can make that choice. No one can do it for you. A strong man cannot help a weak person unless that person is willing to be helped and puts forth the effort needed to become stronger. You and you alone must fix your condition. That might sound a little bit harsh, but it is true. I cannot fix your mind for you. This podcast cannot fix your mind for you. No book, no mentor, no accountability partner can do that for you. You must become the master gardener. You must decide what seeds get planted. You must pull the weeds. You must water. You must cultivate. And that work, it must be done daily. It must be done deliberately. And while it might be challenging and comfortable at times, it needs to be done. Let me ask you something, and I want you to answer it honestly. If someone followed you around for 30 days, and the only thing that they could hear was your internal dialogue, the thoughts you rehearse, the narrative you run on repeat, the fears you entertain, would they respect you? Would they look at the garden of your mind and think, this person is building something? Or would they see chaos? Would they see weeds choking out anything good? Because the reality is, your thoughts will eventually become visible to everyone. They become your habits, and your habits become your character. Your character becomes your circumstances. You think in secret, and it comes to pass. Your environment is just the looking glass. Most people don't fail because of lack of knowledge. They fail from avoidance. They fail because they refuse to take ownership of the garden. They fail because they won't do the daily work needed to weed out the destructive thoughts, in planting the ones that will produce the life that they have always wanted. So here's your challenge for this week. And this one is going to sting a little bit. I want you to pick one recurring thought pattern that you know is destroying you. Maybe it's the thought that says, I'm not capable. Maybe it's the thought that says, I'll never change. Maybe it's resentment towards somebody. Maybe it's fear about your future. Or I don't know how to do that. Pick one. And for the next 7 days, every single time that thought shows up, I want you to physically stop what you are doing and say out loud, this is a weed, I'm pulling it out. And then replace that with a thought of who you are becoming. Not who you hope you would be, who you're actively becoming through disciplined action. For example, if a thought is, I'm lazy, maybe replace it with, I am someone who shows up, even when I don't feel like it. If the thought is, I'm a failure, replace it with, I'm learning and building. Every day I get stronger. And I'm better than I was yesterday. Do that for 7 days. Weed and plant, weed and plant, weed and plant. This is not positive thinking. This is not about lying to yourself. This is about tending the garden of your mind. This is ownership. This is your taking responsibility for the master power that you've been given. Because the truth is, freedom is not found, it's built. And it's built in the garden of your mind before it's ever built anywhere else. You want a different life? Start with a different thought pattern. You want a different body? Start with how you think about discipline and food. You want a different relationship? Start with how you think about yourself and others. You want a different business? Start with what you believe is possible and what you're willing to sacrifice to build it. It all starts in the mind, because your mind is the master builder, and you are the master gardener. Let me leave you with this. James Allen says that he who has accomplished little must sacrifice little. He who would accomplish much must sacrifice much. He who would attain highly must sacrifice greatly. The garden of your mind will demand something from you. Tending it will cost you comfort. It will cost you the luxury of victim thinking. It will cost you ease of blaming circumstances. But what you grow in the garden, that will feed the rest of your life. Standards over feelings. Ownership creates momentum. Freedom isn't found, it's built. If this episode made you stop, made you think, challenged you, share it with someone you care about and needs a reality check. Maybe in their thoughts, or just looking for something different. Or maybe looking for a different perspective. Good morning, good afternoon, or good night. And I will catch you guys on the next one.